and welcome to my channel. This is Seema here. Today we are making texture paste in 4 different ways. In fact, it would be two texture paste recipes and two alternatives that you can use instead of texture paste. Especially if you're doing big projects and you want to use them up immediately, they will not be able to. So the first method that we will start with will be the talcum powder method, which is very popular also. So what you need is a little bit of talcum powder, PVA glue, water, acrylic paint. These are the 4 materials you need. You will need a mixing bowl and a palette knife to mix it all up with, or a ice cream stick you can use. So this is the PVA glue. I'm just going to add equal portions of the talcum powder, which I've already taken here, and the same amount of glue. Now we mix it all up, and then we will add the acrylic paint. And once you add the acrylic paint, you will mix it up. Only if you see that the consistency is too thick do you go ahead and add some water. Very little water. Please be very careful when you're adding water, because then it can become too thin. In fact, when I was making this mixture, it did become thin, and so I added a little more powder, and you can shuffle around depending on what kind of texture you're looking for. If you want a very soft, light texture, this will work. So this is now you can see me adding the acrylic paint. I don't add too much of it, very little, almost less than half of, or up to half of the amount that I've taken the other two things. So 1 part each of fevicol and talcum powder, and half of that will be your acrylic paint. Now, as I said, this is where I was talking about. I added too much water, and then I had to go back and add a little more talcum powder, but that's okay because I had to store it. You can store this particular paste in airtight container and use it as and when you want. So as you can see, it is still too runny for my taste, but it still does hold it gives you a nice texture. It's very soft and nice texture. If you can work with this as well, depending, as I said, it is a matter of choice. If you want to go ahead and add a little more thicker paste, you can. I was just showing a sample. I was just testing it out to show you what kind of a texture you get with this. It's a very smooth paste and dries out matte, and it's very soft, and especially for paper projects this works out really nice because it gives a very nice soft texture. It doesn't have lots of grit. It's not gritty, it's very smooth. So this works out fine for this. Now the second one that we will be using, the second method, will be using the ceramic powder and the same amount of glue as the ceramic powder. And then in this one you can choose not to add acrylic paint, or it's up to you. If you want to, you can. Otherwise, you don't require to. You can add a little bit of water, because this will start drying out pretty fast. So it does hold a little bit of water better. And this one I tried to make it very thick, and again I've taken a small piece of canvas where I'll show you how what this mixture comes out to about. This is thicker than that and gives a very clear definition on a stencil, whereas the other one that we saw was not all that clear. I would have liked it to be a little more thicker, as I was mentioning before as well. This has come out beautifully. As you can see, the details, they have come out really nicely. I'm just removing it. Now, these are the two things that you can make and keep and store. But preferably when I'm making very big projects, what I do is I make a texture paste and then use it for my project, and that's it. I am done with it. So these two I store for my paper projects, for mixed media and stuff like that. But if I'm doing a bigger project, maybe like a planter or something, I prefer to use another method that I'll be showing you. And in fact, it is not another method, it's just an alternative to these two recipes. There is a material called wall putty, which is used to make texture on walls. So that is what I'm going to use. I add a little bit of fevicol to it, just for my satisfaction. Even if I don't add it, it's all right. So here you can see me adding the wall putty, and I'll add little fevicol and water. This dries up very fast, so if I need to use it a little later, I keep it little liquidy, thinner than what I actually need. And if I have to use it immediately, then I use it, make it thicker. So this is a very good solution. It is very inexpensive. It is available on most hardware stores, and it's very easily available everywhere. And this works beautifully. It takes paints beautifully. It is matte when it dries, and it holds its shape very nicely, just like a regular texture paste. As I said, it is used for creating textures on walls, so this really works out very well. So when I'm doing a big project, I prefer to mix it up right there and then, use it on my project, and go ahead with it. I sometimes use it to cover cardboard materials if I'm doing a recycling project, just to make it stiff and more sturdy. I just add a coat of this to that. I also use white cement, which is the next one that I'm going to show you. Here I'm just displaying, trying to put it through a stencil. This is a DIY stencil, as you can see. I made the stencil myself. If you want to check out the video that I have for this, how you can make stencils in 5 different ways at your own designs, please check out the video. I'll leave it this the playlist description in the at the end of the video, and you can check them out. There are lots of DIY craft supply videos on there, on that playlist. So I hope you do, and if you're new to my channel, please, you're welcome, and I hope that you will consider subscribing. We put out crafting related videos or such tutorials every week, and I do a few quick tip videos also, which are related to home and might be useful for you, which I usually do during the middle of the week. And it would be great if you consider subscribing to our channel, to this channel, home hashtag DIY. And if you do, please do not forget to press the bell icon to be notified every time we put out a new video. So now moving on to the next one. This is going to be the last method that I use. It is white cement. I use it for doing a lot of projects, making candle holders, doing a lot of molding with it. And I prefer white cement to the regular cement because it's just one, it is available in smaller quantities very easily, and it is strong, just like very similar to the regular cement, and it creates a very good base for the project because it is white, so I don't need to add a coat of white to it, or it gives out the colors come out brighter. So I prefer white cement. I use this for molding. I use it again for strengthening cardboard projects that I do. I will show you something that I made with the coat of this. I let it dry, so I will show you later in the video what I used this particular project, this particular material for. I just coated some cardboards in white cement. As you can see, I'm just adding water to this, and I want to get it to the right consistency, whatever consistency I'm looking for. I just stop there. But this is you have to be very careful about one thing, that you have to use it immediately. The moment you keep it for some time, it will start drying out, and then it will get stiff, and when you try to mix it up, it will have lumps in it. And so this is something that you have to use it immediately as soon as you make it. As you can see, I'm just trying to use this to coat this particular cardboard, and in the same method that I'm doing it here, I have created something. I made a set of coasters that I'll show you to you in a minute, which I coated like this and then finished with the decoupage. I'm still working on it, but I'm going to show you that they are very strong. As you can see, I can create all kinds of texture using the cement while it's still wet, and it works out really great. I'm doing a project, a big project with this method that I am working on right now. And these are the coasters I was talking about. So this is all we have for today, and if you want more details, it will be up in my blog. The links are will be in the description below. And as I said, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and do not forget the notification bell. And I'll see you soon next week. Bye bye.